mother of three wonderful children, and every single one of them was born premature. Each pregnancy was different, and each birth story came with its own fair share of fear and uncertainty, with a whole lot of prayers. And through those journeys, I learned three powerful lessons that actually changed my whole perception about how I saw or how I felt motherhood and resilience and life itself should be, which wasn't all true like that in my own case. And if you're a mother and you're expecting a premature baby, or you're probably navigating caring for a premature baby, this lesson is going to actually encourage you, and you may need to actually stick to the end of this video, where I'll be sharing basic tips on how I navigated caring for three premature babies at three different birth stories with three different kind of scenarios. And hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Vivian. For those of you who may not know, I'm a mother of three. I create content that revolves around caring for premature babies, navigating bed rest, and having to go through incompetent cervix while still rebranding myself as a mother of three. So when you have a premature baby, life doesn't actually look like how you would imagine it. There are days of hospital visit. There are times of monitoring. For you have to check your baby every now and then, and there are moments of worries. And you just feel left alone because nobody actually understands what you are going through. Because everybody expect that you are just a woman who just put to bed, and caring for your baby should actually be like how every normal person would care for their baby, without understanding what you're truly going through, regardless of people actually knowing that you gave birth to a premature baby. And having to care for three premature babies actually taught me life lessons that no book could actually teach me, which is having the understanding of knowing that no pregnancy is the same, and no birth story is actually the same, and no two child is the same. And this is what you would have to carry on with as a woman who may be having multiple premature babies, or who may one of the biggest lessons I've learned while giving birth to premature babies is, as a woman and as a mother, you have to actually trust your mother instinct. You don't have to take that for granted. Quite all right, doctors and nurses play a very important role when it comes to caring for your baby in the intensive care unit, which is actually the place they put the babies when they are that small, the incubator. You have to start paying attention to tiny little difference in your baby, when the way the baby breathes, when it comes to the feeding pattern, the discomfort pattern, your baby's breathing, the way your baby navigates through the incubator when the baby is no longer comfortable with the oxygen and baby would want to remove. You need to start paying attention to how the nurses actually even swap the shift and care for your baby. With this, you'll be able to know when there's a shift in how your baby is responding, if they're doing the right thing, and when something is not actually going on well. All of my babies were actually born very early. And one of the things I've learned to trust is my instinct. There are times something may not feel the same. I may have this awkward feeling, maybe as a result of something that may have happened with the previous baby. I watch out for that, and I quickly bring that notice to the attention of the nurses, whom I must say the hospital I used here in Nigeria, they were wonderful, because for every little tiny notice I bring to them, they take it very serious without seeing me as someone who is not in the medical line. You understand? And I've come to this realization, and I've come to this understanding that nobody actually understands or studies your baby more than you, who is the mother, because you have to be there 24/7 to also supervise, or not support, or just to be and watch what the nurses are doing, because that will help you to also navigate through the process of when you go back home with the baby. And I must say, mother instinct is something that I will encourage every mother going through caring for a premature baby to trust. And how do you do that? You need to go close to God. You need to pray. You need to be able to ask God to show you things beforehand, good things, bad things. Just trust your instinct, and these things work magically. It helped me a whole lot. And up till now, even while caring for my baby as they're still growing, I've always trusted my mother instinct. So another lesson having to be a premature mom has taught me is celebrating small victories. How we celebrate small victories is typically different from how every other woman who had a full-term baby would celebrate his or her own success as a mother. My victory and my own celebration could be celebrating that my baby actually finished a food, a bottle of milk, and sometimes celebrating could just be my baby gaining 1 kg. Those things actually count. It's one of the things I don't take for granted, and I celebrate that a lot. And as a woman who had or who have experienced having three premature babies, I celebrate these little things, as small as my baby even having to breathe without the help of an oxygen. The day I knelt down in the hospital with one of my child, and I was crying and I was praying to God the day I came and I didn't see my child on oxygen. So celebrating victories is something that I could say I learned as a mother who had three premature baby, and I'm also still doing that up till today. I have not stopped celebrating my children for every milestone or for everything they attain in life, because I know where their story started from, and I don't take that for granted. For many mothers who have full-term babies, celebrating these small milestones may not really actually mean anything to them, but I've been able to learn this consciously as a mother caring for premature babies, to celebrate every tiny bit of milestones my babies attain. And this has actually helped me to be able to practice the act of gratitude, being very thankful to God for how far He has brought my babies, and knowing fully well that He is the reason why these babies are alive, not because of my act or my dealings or the way the medical practitioners cared for them, but through the intervention of God. And I don't take that for granted. Again, the third lesson I would say that I learned caring for premature baby is the act of being a strong mother, and being very patient, and being very grateful for every act of God in our life. There are tough moments, there are moments of worries, moments of uncertainty. But caring for premature baby have actually opened my eyes to understand that without God, there's nothing that can actually be possible through our own humanly intervention, or through the no matter the fact that you have a good hospital or you have the money. Not being strong and not relying in God, and being patient and believing in the word of God. I mean, there is nothing that I've learned, if not that there's nothing I can say that I've learned that I'm holding on to at this moment of my life, if not the act of patience, the act of being very grateful, the act of being very resilient and strong for myself and for my children. And this has actually helped me to navigate caring for my children, having to be there for them and watching them thrive regardless of all odds. And this is one thing I've carried on as a mother, which I'm also trying to pass on to my children. So, one word I would give to any woman expecting a premature baby or caring for a premature baby is you're actually stronger than how you think you are. And I want you to know that this moment doesn't last forever. Rather, this moment is actually a learning moment that is preparing you for something bigger in life, that is preparing you to know that you're stronger than what or how you even think you are. And it's preparing you to be patient, because caring for premature baby actually requires a lot of patience. And at the end of the whole day, you're going to become this resilient woman that we hold on to God, and know that it is not by our making, but rather by the will of God that every human that came into existence was made. And I want you to know that this journey doesn't last forever. Within a shortest period of time, these babies they grow very fast, and for premature babies, they perform magically. when they just start putting on weight and when they just start hitting milestones, you will just see things turn out for good. So if you're a woman who is caring for a premature baby or who is expecting a premature baby, I would want you to comment or drop a message for me in the comment section and let me know how you're navigating this process and how you've been able to care for your premature babies. I would also want to share my thoughts and some of my knowledge with you and connect with you as well. Thank you for watching my video. And if you love videos like this, please kindly comment and it will encourage me to make more content related to this topic. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.